Hey, what's up guys? We're here driving around California. So the deal is I basically took a little break to go visit my family, and while we were out here we were filming decided to do a Q&A episode for this weekend episode. So a couple days ago we went down to the beach and we filmed this, and then when I went to edit the footage, unfortunately the camera's focus couldn't set in, and so the camera went in and out of focus, in and out of focus, in and out of focus, and it does it for probably pretty much the whole video. So this is just an intro to that video, apologizing ahead of time. We tried to refilm it, but then the camera batteries just died altogether, and I don't have all my camera equipment with me. Wasn't really prepared for this. So I want to apologize for that, but I hope you like this video. Check it out. Okay, what's up everybody? This is B from Build. I'm Chris, and we are doing a special Q&A episode. I'm out in California visiting my family. We're here in Santa Monica on the beach. I don't know why I really wanted to film this from the beach, but we did, and now we might have a little bit of wind issues, but I think we're gonna be all right. So what I did was I asked on Instagram and Facebook for some questions, and I'm just gonna get started and answer some questions and get through as many as I can. I'm gonna do, like, hopefully keep this about 30 minutes and do some from Instagram and some from Facebook. Thomas Howler, what do you plan to build next? After the Mustang's definitely next. That's the one in my backyard. After that, I'd really like to do a budget Mini Cooper rally car. That's kind of the plan for right now. Hopefully though, the next car I really want to do would be on a really tight budget, because I talk to a lot of people that are like in college and different things, and they really don't have a big budget, and I want to try and see how cheaply we can take a salvage car and fix it up and turn it into something that's really, really fun. So get a lot of fun out of cheap. Kind of like what Top Gear did when they did that, can you buy a car and rally it for cheaper than it costs to buy a set of golf clubs? Something kind of similar to that. Ryan Vidovic, what was your first car? What's your dream car? My first car was an '87 Supra. I learned how to drive in my mom's minivan, but that wasn't actually my car. My first car was an '87 Supra that was super clean. My family bought it for $1,000 and let me work on our farm to pay for it. And it was a 5-speed Supra, and I got it in the middle of winter in the country and learned what rear-wheel drive was all about. And I flipped it. I sold it for like $2,000 about a year later, and I regret that. I've had a post on Craigslist in my hometown for the last like year trying to find that car and buy it back. So far, no luck. We think it's gone. If anybody knows how I can track down the VIN number of a car I used to own, that'd be handy. I'd love to find that car again. What's my dream car? I don't really know, to be honest. Some probably something original, something that nobody else has. I've always loved the newer Supras, the 90 and up model Supras, but I don't know. I don't think I have one dream car. It'd probably be a couple cars. It'd probably be a muscle car and an import car, and maybe something else. I'd love to maybe engine swap a Ferrari. I've been thinking about that. Put a crate motor in a Ferrari or something to be able to have it as a daily. I don't really know. That's a tough question, but that's probably why I have so many cars. Is I can't really pick one. I mean, some days it feels like a muscle car type of day. Some days it feels like probably an SUV type of day. So yeah. Tyler Elkins, 98. Am I single? I'm male and straight, but with all those cars, I'd have to consider it. I'm not single. Thanks, Tyler. It's Bennett, ITSC Bennett. Stanworth, Seattle. Will I see you there? Best regards from Carter and the rest of the Kingsmen. Hashtag, please put this in the video. That's done. Stanworth, Seattle. Yeah, we're gonna try and make it. I don't think I'll be very stanced. I don't know. I don't have a good grip on stance, but yeah. The plan is that I'll be there. MR Ubenfield _ what's my favorite color? Black, probably. That's why all the shit that we have is in black t-shirts. By the way, let me know what your guys' favorite color is. Next shirts we're thinking about doing is black and white, but if there's a color people can kind of agree on, we could do multiple colors, but so far I'm planning on doing black with white print on it and white with black print on it. Zoberstone 91, what do you do that allows you to buy and fix all these cars? I'm a computer software engineer and a kind of a type of manager as well, for a very cool company that allows me to have some flexible time and sometimes car stuff gets in the way. Like for instance the Reno trip, my work was super cool and gave me a day off, and well, they don't give you a day off, you know, but they let you take a day off impromptu, and they're flexible, and it's really rad. That's kind of the software life, and so that's pretty cool. Firestone 25, would you ever own a Miata? If so, would you turbo it? Yes and yes. I think Miatas are great cars. I think it's a really good, with the weight distribution that they have, especially the original ones being so cheap, I think it's a great platform to start on. And yeah, I'd turbo it if I could. I mean, you guys will notice I haven't turboed anything yet. I tried turboing my BMW a long time ago and I failed. Turbos will be coming on the channel, and I'm gonna nail it down and show you guys how to do it as well. Ashraf 321, when are you getting an M3? I don't know. My roommate used to have one. I really liked it, but it'll probably be a while. Mora_H, ever thought of a 240 or a 350? Yes and yes. And he said Z, so I'm assuming he means the 240Z. I'll be getting a 240Z in the next few years. They're very collectible, and I want to have one in my arsenal. So yeah, it'll probably be on the lines of the Camaro. I'll probably try and buy one in decent condition and probably not mod it too hard so it keeps its long-term value. But I really want a 240Z. 350Z, probably not. I have the BRZs to do the drifting and the track and the stuff like that, and they kind of are the same purpose type of car. So, you know, we may get one if we see a deal. It probably won't be for me, and it probably won't stay for a long time, but if one of my friends wants one or something happens, you know, we might pick one up and do it on the channel. I love the car. It's a great car. I like all the Nissans. I, in high school, had a 300ZX for a long time, and I loved it. Filipino Kid, what made you want to get a BRZ? Would you ever get a Rocket Bunny version 2 kit? What made me want to get a BRZ? I wanted to get a BRZ so I could build the Rocket Bunny kit BRZ. I've always liked the look of them, and then when I saw the first one, the Plan A BRZ at auction, I was actually at a bar, and I was a little I don't want to say drunk, but I was a little buzzed, and I was doing the auctions on my phone, and I set a price limit that I thought was decent, and I bid up on it, and I won the auctions. And it was like me and cameraman Adrian were just hanging out having beers, so we cheersed, and then I went and picked up the BRZ, and the rest is history. So I picked it up because I knew it looked awesome with the Rocket Bunny, and I really wanted to do that. Would I ever get the Rocket Bunny version 2? Yeah, I think it looks great. Right now, it's just very expensive to get. If I can, I'm actually out in California right now. I really wanted to go stop off at Gretty headquarters and talk to them, but their sponsorship process is long and tedious, and who knows, but if anybody watches here from Gretty, you know, shout them out, shout me out, yell at them. Anyways, I'd like to do a V2 kit if we could arrange it, but I don't want to spend, I think it's like a $3,000 to $5,000 kit, and anyway, so I just ordered another Rocket Bunny V1 kit off of eBay for the Plan B, so that'll start as a V1, but we could go V2 later, or we could do a mix and match V2 front bumper with the V1 fender flares. It's all good. Momo_Carboy, what are your thoughts of a E30 BMW or E34 BMW? Would ever consider building an E30? Oh, helicopter brake. It's an LAPD helicopter on the beach. What are my thoughts? Great platform on those BMWs, E34 BMWs and the E30. I mean, they're great platforms, and I think they're awesome. I probably wouldn't do one though. I don't see a lot of potential, and it's not a car that I really want to have forever. A lot of the cars that I'm kind of thinking about getting are either going to be for a purpose, like drift, track, off-road, something like that, or something that I want to keep for a long time. GTA 5 photos. Plan on wrapping the Plan A or the Plan B BRZ? I tried wrapping. I sucked at it. We wrapped about 3 or 4 panels on the Plan A BRZ, and then I was like, screw it, I want to try painting. I still have all the wrap, so someday we will wrap a car, and I'll do better. This last time I was just losing patience, and so the wrap was getting a little bit messed up. It's not that hard to do, but I just ordered more painting supplies to paint the Plan A again, so no wrapping the Plan A or the Plan B. Now that we got the shop, I want to learn to paint. Alloy_S197, are you done with the Mustang? Not at all. Not even started with the Mustang, to be honest. Yeah. Ellie_Drew, did you have any idea how quickly the channel would grow? No, not at all. I'm really happy that it did. I wasn't really planning for this at all. I just thought, hey Jeff, let's take a vacation and film everything and put it on YouTube, and that was the road trip. And I didn't really think of what was a goal or what was the plan for if it went well. But we actually started filming the stuff on the first BRZ to try and get people to tune into the road trip, and then everything flipped upside down basically when we when we got done with the road trip, all the road trip videos combined didn't have as many hits as the Rocket Bunny step 1 install from the day before we left. So it turned out that the road trip was not really the gain there, it was the BRZs. And then we just came back and kept working on cars, and I just kept going with the channel. I had no idea it would grow so fast. I'm so happy it did, and it's cool that it did, but I don't know. Have you ever attempted to drift the Charger? Oh, sorry, this is Ben Matsey. Have you ever tried to drift the Charger? Yes, and it's all a lot of tire roll, or whatever you call it. The wheels and tires are just, it's the body rolls, and then the front tires just start scrubbing and understeering like crazy. So if you're on sand or snow, it'll go, but that thing weighs almost as much as a Range Rover. It's huge, it's a monster car, so yeah, it doesn't work very well. But it's still fun. River Air Harrison 71, when are you planning to have the Plan A going good? I don't know, next week would be good, but realistically by the end of the month, I'm going to be focusing on that car a lot to get it finished out, get it as my daily driver. ODER FLA 90, Odorflaw 90. Any plans in the future for modifying the S2000? Yeah, because of the response from you guys. It seemed that you guys really like the S2000. I don't know what I'll be doing to it yet. I really like the car how it is, but we'll just find something that you guys would like to see and that I would like to do as well. There's a few small things that I would like to do as well. So yeah, S2000 is a great car. You guys actually convinced me to keep it. I was thinking about selling the S2000, and then you guys did a lot of posting about the value going up in them becoming more rare and stuff like that, and I said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to keep the S2000. Siam underscore 350Z, what got you into making the YouTube channel about cars? It was just kind of, we wanted to film the road trip and see how that went, and that was kind of it. Yeah. J Andre 1, what's your plan for the Camaro? The plan for the Camaro is to keep the engine as it is, because it's a numbers matching engine. Maybe do some EFI, electronic fuel injection. Customize that front end pretty nicely. Probably plasti dip the body for paint, and then do a lot of improvements on all the seals around there so it'll stop leaking. So upgrade all the seals around the whole car so it'll stop leaking and I can have it as a daily driver. Oh, this is a good question. Isaac underscore Hagden Dick? Hagen Dick. Is your last name really Hagen Dick? That's fantastic. What mods can I make to my Impreza to get the emissions down? I'm currently running a 3-inch turbo back exhaust with a race cat. I have no idea. I don't do emissions where I live. So yeah, I wish I could tell you, and I was just thinking about that because we're in California and here you can't get away with really anything. Helicopter brake. So yeah, I'm sorry that I can't answer that, and I'm sorry that I don't go into that more in the video. I think that you could check online and different things, and I think there are some hacks that you can do to trick your car's computer to think you're running a clean emissions, and then plug all that stuff in. It's like an O2 sensor hack or something like that. Plug all that stuff in, run down to the DEQ or whatever you guys do to get your car tested for emissions, and then take it off when you're done. All that stuff, the ECU and the computer is a looping system, and it's reading your emissions, and there are ways to hack all that emission stuff. It's just finding the right one. So what I would do, and I probably shouldn't advise you doing this, I'm not liable, but anyways, what I would do is cheat. I would try and hack the system so you're by using a chip or a different sensor or a fouled up sensor to make your car think it's running really clean when it probably isn't. At least if you tell the ECU you are, then you are. That's how piggyback ECU management systems work for turbos. You know, you're getting more compressed air, so it says that you're getting different stuff, so you throw more fuel into the system, etc., etc. So it's definitely got to be possible. Exotics, how many beers do you consume in a day? Well, it depends if it's a day when I'm drinking or a day when I'm not drinking, but you know, enough to have fun, but not enough to not have fun the next day. That's the plan. Pazen MWT, why do you only buy cars with salvage titles? I don't only buy cars with salvage title. I mean, I have a couple cars that have clean titles, or maybe not a couple anymore. I mean, the S2000 is a clean title car. The Camaro is a clean title car. For cars that I plan on doing wild stuff with, I just rather buy them salvaged because they're so much cheaper. So cheaper car, better car is, for me, I like fixing them up, and if I can get them cheaper, it means I can get more. For instance, somebody's asked me why 2 BRZs instead of just buy one clean title. Well, the 2 BRZs, if you add up the total money spent on them, it's between 15 and 20,000 bucks, and new BRZ is like what, 21 right now or something like that. I don't really know, but yeah, I got 2 rather than 1. Time to Shine 97, how come you have so many cars? I can never pick the ones that I want to keep and the ones that I want to sell, and the auctions are a little bit addicting. Oh, I like this question, I read this earlier. Edgar Licea, L-I-C-E-A. Be real, do you lose motivation to work on your projects? How do you overcome procrastinations? Yeah, living in Oregon, when the weather goes bad, like what we saw earlier in a few episodes ago, it's really easy to lose motivation, and also sometimes the weather just goes from like normal temperature to really, really hot, and it's uncomfortable doing that too. So that's why the Mustang is kind of in a stuck spot. I lost a bit of motivation, so yes, I really have lost motivation before, but now the channel is really my motivation. I can't get away with not working, because then I wouldn't have anything to film. So you guys are my motivation now, and the channel is plenty of motivation. I don't want to come up short on the channel, and for you guys, since you've done so much for me with all this stuff, that you know, I just read a couple comments on YouTube or spend some time interacting with you guys, and I'm plenty motivated to get back out there and hit it. Alright, I'm gonna try and jump to let's jump to Facebook. Alright, we had some technical issues. Somehow in the beach in California there's no internet, which is ridiculous, but we got it up. Some great questions here from Facebook. Rick to you, can we send you letters? Sure. I'll try and figure out a way to post something online so you guys can send me stuff. I don't mind at all. Yeah. Please don't send letters to the return address on the letters, on the packages that I send you guys, though. That's not what that's for. Zach Clade, what advice can you give someone looking to learn to build or fix their own car? How did you learn or teach yourself how to do what you do? Does your full-time job involve fixing cars, or is this a self-taught hobby? It's definitely a self-taught hobby, and my advice to anyone would be to stay really low in your price range. It's a lot easier to fix a car if you're not trying to spend every dime you have on your project. So I would try and stay really, really cheap if you don't have a really high budget, and maybe even if you do have a really high budget, do one on the really, really cheap first, because when everything's cheap, it seems to make a lot of the answers a lot easier. You know, if you have to repair a part or just replace a part, it makes it a lot easier. How did I learn? I learned by just trial and error. I've messed up quite a few cars in my time, but one thing I did learn over enough time is that you really can't break a car too badly that somebody else can't fix it. I mean, I've screwed up paint and had to take a car to the paint shop before, because it was like a car I was fixing and I was going to sell, and you know, I was out there one day with a rattle can, and before I knew it, I just completely screwed up a whole panel, and I had to just send it to the paint shop, and the guy laughed at me, and we had a couple giggles, and he took the car and charged me 250 bucks, and I was like, oh, that was a bummer. But you know, I learned. I guess I didn't learn very well, because then I did 3 more episodes about painting, but yeah, how to learn, just stay on the cheap is what I would say. Stay on the cheap, you know, start with cheap cars, and have a goal in mind before you get started. And then how I learn, my process is pretty much always the same. When I target something that I want to do, I normally go try and look at some videos on YouTube, see if anybody else has done it and how they did it. And then if that doesn't give me all the information I need, like say it's something stupid like changing the headlight on my parents' Prius, just YouTube Prius headlight change. Okay, that's how I want to do that. And then if YouTube's not enough, I jump onto a forum. If it's something more obscure, like you're like BRZ, I want more steering angle or something, you know, you got to learn more about components. Check the forums and find the forums that kind of relate to your car, and ask around, ask people around. So for instance, when I had my wiring problems and the car wouldn't start and I didn't know anything about the BRZ, like I kind of looked like an idiot posting on different forums and just saying, hey guys, my car doesn't start, what can I go through? But I diagnosed like one after another, tried a lot of different things that people on the forum said, and I mean, I sounded like a complete idiot for a while, but you get through it, and just little perseverance. And so YouTube, then forums, try it yourself, and if all else fails, sometimes maybe, you know, go to a mechanic if you have to. But if you go to a mechanic, try and talk to them so they can teach you how you can fix it yourself the next time. Sean Bachman, and this is from Facebook, or Buchanan, sorry. What mod should I do first to my FRS, or any car for that matter? I think that's all up to your preference. Drive some other cars and see how those feel, and it depends like kind of what you're going for, if it's sporty or if it's for looks or whatever. So this is more in general. When I jump into a car, you know, I probably am comparing it to another car, and I think, okay, what do I want to do to make this car look a little bit different or act a little bit different, and then I think that really drives the mods. So for instance, like when I got my S2000, the mods I really wanted to do was tame it down, because it was a track car, so I had 5-point harnesses in it and a roll cage and other stuff like that, and I was like, wow, I don't want to really strap on a 5-point harness to drive downtown to go to work. I like, some people like that look, I just didn't really want to go through all that hassle every day. So my first mods were removing the roll cage and buying all the stuff to be able to reinstall seatbelts. But on the flip side, you know, with the BRZ, my first mods were like, all right, I want to go wide body, so I need to get bigger wheels and tires and the wide body kit, and obviously rebuild the car. So I'd say it's all dependent on which car that you have. Jeffrey Jared Caney Jr., great name. What pushes you to success even when shit hits the fan? Well, the YouTube channel is one good one. The other one is, you know, when you're working on a car and you're halfway through, you can't really leave it. That's why cars are kind of great. I mean, sometimes I guess you could leave it, but for the most part, I mean, what are you gonna do? You got a BRZ that's worth a lot of money, or whatever car you have that's worth a lot of money. Either you gotta fix it or you gotta pay somebody to fix it. And so I guess what pushes me to success is I don't want to pay anybody to fix it, so I just keep trying. And you know that with cars, there's a lot of backup plans. So for instance, the Plan A BRZ, the car wouldn't start. It was like, sounded like a new wiring harness or a new engine, but the backup plan was just to get a new motor. And so sometimes you got to take a pause and save some money up to get to success. But so I always try and take those small shots at success, like the small things, like replacing the wiring harness first and those other things like that, and then have a backup plan, which is, all right, new motor or whatever. Sometime there probably will be a build though where I jump into it and the car's just not going to work out, and that'll be interesting when that happens. I don't know what you do with it at that point. Turn it into a coffee table. Josh Flood, will you continue painting cars, or will you just pay someone to do it in the future? Great question. I want to try. I'm going to try again. I just ordered some better paint guns, and I got a game plan. I didn't really like any of the colors that Plastidip had to offer at this time for the Plan A BRZ. I have a really specific look I'm going for, that I just recently kind of learned what I wanted with that car. And yeah, so I'm going to try and paint it. I don't know how to pronounce this name. B-E-A-U, Dennis. Why have you chosen the Plan A BRZ to be my daily? It's an automatic, that's why I chose it. I work in downtown Portland, and I live outside of town in Portland, and I get stuck in traffic a lot. The S2000 has a stage 2 clutch, and it stopped me from driving it a decent amount. I've burnt through about 70% of the clutch in maybe 2 years from being stuck in traffic a lot. I mean, it's not uncommon to be stuck in traffic for 40 minutes, and it's all just a crawl. So the Plan A was chosen because it's an automatic. But just because it's an automatic doesn't mean that it's not going to be a fun car. That car, it's the premium or the limited or whatever, so it has rev matching automatic transmission, which I haven't played with, but I hear it's fun. I hear the paddle shifters are decent, and I hear the transmission won't explode until about like 350 or something horsepower, and then killing it. So I still want the car to be really fun, but yeah, so that's why. It's the automatic transmission. Maxim Avalev, have you ever been in a car accident? Yeah, some really wimpy ones that were marginally not my fault. I don't know why I'm talking in plural. I think it's one. But yeah, my friend's dad crashed with us going up to the mountain once on ice. So I'm a little sketchy driving over snowy mountain passes. I don't enjoy it, but I still do it. And I crashed my 300ZX into some lady who then faked a neck injury, and it was a really fun lawsuit. But it's all good. Hansa Halfar, full-time job, multiple car projects, YouTube channel, healthy beer intake. I reckon you are single, right? No, wrong. Sorry, girlfriend. Because no life partner I know, and let's say to be understanding. Good day from Australia. Cool second sentence. Good day back. I love Australia, but yeah, I don't have a lot of free time, but I love what I'm doing, so it doesn't matter. What happened to the Plan A BRZ to make you start doing BS for build? I just bought it at auction. I didn't crash that car. A lot of people think like, how'd you crash the car or whatever. I've never crashed any of the cars that I've bought. Or, you know, yeah, I've never crashed a car like severely like that. That would suck. So nope. And what happened? I don't know. I got it at auction. You know, I assume it looked like they rear-ended somebody really, really hard, and then maybe like flew over a curb. Luke McGrady, can you sell some stickers in your store? I'd love to put some on my car. Yes, I'm working on getting stickers as fast as I can. I'm gonna do some die-cut vinyl stickers. One bummer with stickers is they're pretty cheap to produce, but they're really expensive to ship. And I feel really bad about charging a lot for shipping for something that's like so small. So like a $10 sticker pack is really lame. So what I'm working on doing is getting a couple different colors and a couple different sizes, so I can give you guys like a lot of stickers at once. That way the shipping price isn't so big of a bummer. Because to be honest, like I don't want to profit a bunch from you guys having my sticker. I think that's awesome, but it just costs a lot to ship. For me to send any package to Australia is a significant amount of money, so it's kind of a bummer. But I love shipping all that stuff out, and thanks everybody that's supporting the channel from across the globe. It's really cool. Like half the orders are from across the globe, and that's really awesome. I'm going to continue to find a way to be able to do that the whole time. House tour, Riley Vander Veget, house tour. That place looks dope. My house is a pile of shit. No house tour ever. It's not dope. I don't know how you got that picture, but I spend my money on my cars, not my house. Oh, Ash Hindle, this is a good question. Where the hell did Jeff go? I've been wanting to answer this question for a while. So Jeff is still one of my closest friends. Jeff and I grew up, and you guys saw him on the road trip in the episodes before. Jeff ended his job in Portland before we went on the road trip, where I went on a vacation. When we came back, Jeff chose to get a different job, and Jeff works full-time, and he's working super hard, and unfortunately our schedules don't line up right. He oftentimes will go to work right when I'm getting off work, and then when we both have the weekends, you know, we're just slammed. I'm slammed with the channel, and he's slammed with, you know, he's only got so much time on the weekend. So yeah, a little bit bummer, but you know, we love you, Jeff. Greg Matthews, what has helped your YouTube channel grow the most? You guys, of course. Hitting the like button on the videos. If you like the video and you hit the like button, it does really great things with YouTube analytics, and it says, oh, well, a lot of people like this video, maybe we'll go tell other people. So it's you guys hitting the like button that really actually has always helped the channel grow the very most. And liking posts on Facebook and stuff like that lets other people know that, you know, that's how I found Mighty Car Mods the first time. A couple of car guys that I knew that I really respected were liking a lot of posts from Mighty Car Mods, and I'm like, wow, I just gotta go check this thing out, and then I was hooked. Jake Bixler, do you vape because you have an Subaru? I do not vape. Billy Herezenik, how many cars have you owned? A lot. Fucking helicopters. Why are there so many helicopters on the beach? There's nothing here. How many cars have I owned? I've owned a lot. I probably lost count. Probably around 30. Maybe less, maybe like 20. I'm not really sure. I used to flip a few cars before BS for Build and do different things like that. And so, yeah. Nathan House, why would you do a rat rod? Yeah, totally. I want to do a rat rod build really badly. The Mustang build might be a little bit close. I would call that kind of like a street rat rod, but yeah, I'll be doing a full-on rat rod build. I have the perfect game plan for it and everything. It's a secret, but yeah. Will Groundwater, why don't you make it into a full-time job and start making more videos? So I've got this question a few different times through that. Would I quit my day job to do YouTube full-time and stuff like that? The answer is probably not, but maybe. It really depends how things work out over the next year or two. I really love my full-time job, and it allows me to do both of these things at once. I don't know if I could do more than 2 videos a week anyways. It'd probably burn me out. So, so far it's been working all right. Will you, John Firestone, awesome last name. Will you ever do something Haggard, kind of like Haggard Garage? Also, do you watch or like them? Thanks. I mean, so I've watched a couple of their videos. I honestly am not like a diehard fan. I'm more of a Mighty Car Mods fan. I respect those guys a lot, though. I like the fact that they got their channel and they're doing what they do. They have a lot of people that like their stuff, and that's all it is like making videos that people like. So that's really rad. Right on Haggard Garage. I don't really know like what I mean, I know what the word Haggard means. I don't know exactly on their side of the line what a Haggard build is, but if you mean like budget, you know, a budget build, reusing parts and doing some other stuff like that, yeah, that's a lot what I have in store for the Mustang. I don't know if I'd call it Haggard, but it's gonna be I have a very specific challenge that I want to do for the Mustang, and it means building it on the cheap, but I also want it to look a certain way. I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, check out the Mustang build, and that'll be a little bit Haggard. But also, when I do my budget Mini Cooper rally car, that'll probably be pretty damn Haggard too, because it's going to be on a budget. And you know, Haggard and budget, they don't have to go hand in hand, but they often do. So, Cam Leishman, what's next? What kind of projects do you have in mind for you and the future for the channel? Mustang's next, budget rally cars next. I think a little bit of it's going to depend on what I'm having fun, how I'm having fun driving the cars. So if I'm having more fun, you know, drifting up in the hills on gravel roads and stuff, we may build something around that. And also, I think cameraman Adrian might need a project car. So that could be something that happens. But we got to find out how he likes driving. He hasn't done any sports driving, so we got to find out what he enjoys to do to have fun. I know he likes getting up on the mountain and getting in the snow, so it might be something all-wheel drivey or something like that. Dylan Matthew, will you ever do a fan car meet or something along those lines? Hell yeah. Let me get a car finished first, and then yeah, I'll come back down to California probably in the summer, and wherever else I go, and is it called Stance Wars? Stance Meet? Stance.com? Yeah, Seattle. I'll go up there, and in Portland. Jonathan Rivas, favorite 90s car? I think the Supra started in 90, if not the RX-7 started in 1990. Those, probably. Robert Clark, are there any plans to do anything with trucks / off-roading? Not trucks. Off-roading, yes. You'll probably see me put one of the BRZs through its paces off-road pretty soon. It's the easiest way that I have to go have fun with cars when the tracks may be closed or anything else like that. Yeah, we're gonna hit the gravel roads out in the country. I live close to the country, and you know, just go up on some logging roads and go have some fun. But trucks, probably not. Maybe an SUV. I do want to get an SUV, and it'll, you know, be kind of trucky. It'll have four-wheel drive, but I just, you know, like, if that's people's thing, that's really cool, and I totally support that. I just haven't found anything that I really enjoy doing along those lines quite yet. Maybe if I could like jump one or something. I don't know. All right, this is getting long. I'm gonna jump over to the last Instagram account, and then try and wrap this up before we lose sunlight. Oh, the sun's setting. All right, sorry that took a second. The sun's setting. I'm gonna do a couple more really fast. This is from the BS for Build Instagram. myjam_. Will there be another road trip series? I love road tripping, so I hope so. Yeah, I'll do one. Austin _K16. Which BRZ are you making into a race car? The Plan B is going to be the race car. We'll probably do finish the build, the wide body, power upgrades, and then my kind of loosely planned is power upgrades, see how the power upgrades feel in the car, and if they can get me to where I really like the car with that amount of power. And then I have this one other really strange stretch goal that I thought of last week, was to set a land speed record in a BRZ, which would mean we'd need more power. So the idea would be maybe put a turbocharger or a supercharger on the Plan B, see how I like it, then take that, put that on the Plan A as my daily driver if it goes good enough, and then engine swap, and probably put a V8 in the Plan B BRZ. And yeah, and maybe try and set the world record for a land speed record in a BRZ. I don't know, that's a little scary. I don't know if I want to drive 200 miles an hour in a car that I made, but let me know how you guys feel about that. It's something that we could do. _Danik _43. If you swap the Plan B, what engine would you put in it and why? This is a really big discussion. I don't really want to jump into it too far. Probably an LS block base motor, but not the ones that are really popular because they're too damn expensive. If I do an engine swap, I want to try and do something that is affordable for other people. So Ryan Turek already has a 2JZ swapped BRZ. He's also got like shops, sponsors, geniuses, tuning stations, fabrication shops. I don't have any of that stuff, and I'm not really into doing things that other people can't follow. So if I do something, I want to make it a replicatable process. So if somebody else buys a crashed car and says, okay, I want to put 400 or 500 horsepower in this car reliably, that's what I want to be able to do. But I also want to be able to do it on a budget and something that doesn't require crazy fab skills or electronics and tuning that other people don't have access to. So that's probably why I'd be doing an LS series motor. And I know, I'm sorry, that's a bummer to a lot of people, but that's probably why I'd be doing that. It's underscore Jesse underscore 19. Will this question be answered? Hell yeah. Jacob underscore Coldwell underscore. Would you ever consider doing an air-cooled VW? Yeah, I love the VW Carbon Gias. I believe they're air-cooled. If not, I'm gonna feel really stupid, but I'm pretty positive they are. Yeah, I'd consider that, but I might engine swap it, so it wouldn't be air-cooled anymore. But I really like the Carbon Gias. Ed Bratkov, would you recommend the BRZ or FRS as a first car? Absolutely, I think it's a great first car. The one thing that I did mention in other videos is the tires come stock pretty skinny. They designed this car to be able to break traction, to have some fun, and that's a really cool positive. But if you live somewhere with tough weather, you might want to think about getting wider tires for it right off the bat, so you have a little bit more grip and less likely to slide. I mean, they actually built this car to be able to break traction somewhat easily, but because of that, you're going to break traction when you slam on the brakes, and you don't want to rear end anybody or whatever. So you might get wider tires if it's your first car, but yeah, it's a great car. I mean, I've only driven like 700 miles in mine, so I don't know if it's like I'm really the person to ask, but on paper, everything seems really awesome, and the makers of Toyota and Subaru coming together and collaborating. I don't know if you could look for a more reliable car, and you guys have probably seen from the videos, pretty easy to work on. So yeah. Deza MCS, did you like cars when you were first driving them, or did you grow into them as time went by? And if so, what was your the first car that you did mods to? Please keep up the videos and never stop. Thank you, I will keep up the videos, I'm not gonna stop. Did I like cars? Yeah, I've always liked cars, but to be honest, when I had my first Supra, I didn't really understand what I had. That's why I flipped it pretty early on. And then the first car that I really did mods to was probably, I got a Mitsubishi Eclipse. It sounds embarrassing now. They were really cool back in high school. I did some mods on that, and it was mostly just for looks, and then and I did a terrible exhaust hack, and it sounded awesome. It sounded like Subarus do nowadays with 3-inch exhaust. And then the next car I got was a 300ZX, and that was the first car I really did power mods on, and I got rid of that, and then I got a 3 Series BMW, and tried to turbocharge that and failed. So yeah, I've always loved cars. I've always been modding pretty much all of them that I've ever had. Brandon Mihal, what's your favorite type of beer? Pelican Pub Brewery, where Jeff and I launched the first episode of the road trip from. Their IPA is probably my favorite beer. I drink cheap beer on the channel because I like to drink a lot of beer, and if you drink really powerful beer, you can't drink as many. So I drink Coors Light a lot because I don't want to have a hangover, and I just want to be able to hang out and have some beer. Kind of want to drink beer and I don't want to get drunk. John Vitas 29, dear Chris and cameraman Adrian, are you going to boost the BRZs? And second, are you going to compete in any drift or road course events? I'd love to see the videos on the east. We are loving the videos on the east side. Keep it up. Awesome, thank you. And yep, we're going to boost at least one of the BRZs, if not both of them. And yeah, I look to compete in some drift events. I don't know how good I'm going to be at it. I got a lot to learn, but I would like to. I'm a little pissed at pro drifting right now. I think it's kind of a pay-to-win type of sport. It's a little bit ridiculous when everybody's running around with 1,000 horsepower cars and the rules that they have in place. But I'm definitely going to start by doing it for fun and maybe in some amateur stuff. I love competing in anything I can, so yeah, probably will. Town Key 603, thoughts about Boston? You look like a fellow Irish New Englander. I'm half Irish, I'm half German. Thoughts about Boston? I've never been there. I hear it's awesome, and I hear the people are absolutely crazy. So yeah, awesome. Tempest underscore GTR, I always wondered what prior experiences you had before starting a project. You seem to be fearless, trying new things. I'm gonna do one more question after that, and then we gotta cut this, but no experience prior, like for instance the quarter panel. I just watched some videos on YouTube like I said before, and then you just get started. I'm fearless because I got a lot of other cars I can drive if I need to, and I have a little bit of money in the bank in case I blow it up. I could send that car off to a body shop and say, save me. That's one big thing I wanted to talk about when people are saying, hey, should a project car be my first car? I would say no, because then you gotta be really careful about what projects you jump into, and sometimes you gotta make sure that you have that project wrapped up so you can make it to work or school the next day. So, I mean, my first cars were definitely project cars, and it was tough, but sometimes you just don't have the money to do both. So if you don't have the money, then maybe don't, but if you do have the money, maybe get a really cheap project car and do that while you're on the side, and that'll help you be a little bit more fearless in jumping into your stuff, because you don't really have much to lose. Okay, I'll do a couple more quick ones. Patrick Gustin 90, do you have kids? Nope. I probably couldn't justify wasting all this money on cars if I had kids. It's been not keen. What are your hobbies? Cars, driving the cars, traveling when I can, hanging out with friends, and I play a lot of Counter-Strike. I love Counter-Strike. No, I probably won't play with you guys if you ask for my screen name. I yell at people a lot, and that'd be embarrassing. All right, last question. Bunny BRZ, have you ever tried to do something on either plan A or plan B on which you gave up on and later accomplished? Yeah, that's kind of the story behind the wiring harness. So I put probably 20 hours into trying to figure out that wiring harness, and then I took it down to the dealership figuring that they had better diagnostic tools, and that was my thought process, is like they're gonna have the right tools to try and figure out that job. And sometimes that really is the right answer. If you really have the wrong tools, you sometimes will hit a brick wall. And sometimes I just get it done with the wrong tools, but basically I took it down to the dealership, and then I felt like they didn't really put enough effort into trying to fix it, and they just went, give us $1,500 for this part and then pay us another $1,500 to install it. And I thought, like, no way, man, that's ridiculous. So then I gave up, and I was like, engine swap time. This thing has an automatic transmission. I don't know if I want that. Engine swap, and goodbye wiring harness, goodbye problems. But then when I was in Reno with Adrian, and we were just having some beers one of the nights that we were buying the plan B, and I was on eBay and I found one for 350 bucks. And then I stopped giving up. I was like, oh, it's not $1,500. So I got more information. I learned something. I decided I'm not giving up anymore at that price. I'd rather buy that wiring harness. And then we just gave the wiring harness a shot. It was like a 12-hour job or 11-hour job to do the wiring harness. So all in all, like, I spent 30 hours trying to figure out why that car wouldn't start. But yeah, that was the one thing I gave up on, and then we gave it another shot, and then we tried it again and it worked. And other than that, I've never given up on anything in the plan A or B BRZ. But that's not to say I've never given up on anything before. The original plan for the Mustang GT that's in my backyard was to take a 67 Mustang body and cut the whole body off the 67 Mustang and then slap it back on the 2007 Mustang, so I would have a 67 looking Mustang with the 2007 underneath skin and all the mechanics of that, and I gave up on that. Some things just aren't really meant to be done. Somebody else did it in the Netherlands with a Dodge Charger, and it looked awesome, and good for that guy. He had a couple more tools and tricks and stuff than I had, so it's probably a pretty good thing that I gave up on that, but maybe we'll try and do it again in the future. All right, I went way overboard on time, but that's one of my problems, is I can never stop talking. So thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate all the questions. I'm sorry I couldn't get to some other ones. We'll do another one of these in the future. This is just because I'm out in California. I couldn't work on cars, but I want to make a video for you guys. Thank you all very much for watching. Please remember to like the video and subscribe. Peace.